and language.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world. Beauty, romance, love. These are what we stay alive for. If the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse.
Go over the 5 elements of good writing. And the first is purpose. And so again, I went over this before. We have 3 main reasons. I also did it: inform a reader, persuade a reader, or entertain. And so what I've always said when you are going to write a paragraph, or for this class, the goal is to write an essay, we must have a purpose, right? And so the book definition here says we're talking about the reasons that a writer is writing a particular paragraph. And so when you're doing your brainstorming, you have to have a purpose. Now, I can give you the purpose in class. If it's creative writing, you come up with your own purpose. Perhaps in other classes, you'll have to think of a purpose, or they'll give you one, and later on in life, you will have to find a purpose. Without a purpose, it makes it very difficult to write. And so I generally make students, or I let students pick topics and ideas that they like, because there's more purpose with that. But sometimes we are forced for a topic, especially when we're doing TOEIC and those types of things. But you'll get into that later on in your studies. So yeah, the first element is purpose. Just stay on your topic, so that way we know what you are talking about. But again, before you start and you do your brainstorming, you have to think, are you going to inform, persuade, or entertain the reader? The next element, element 2, is your audience. And so again, this is what we have first person, second person, and third person. Also, this is keeping your audience in mind. So now you've picked what your purpose is, and now we've got to think about who you're writing to. So whether it's writing to me, or writing to a classmate, writing to a business, you have to have your audience in mind. And so, of course, audience here means your reader. Good writers know who their audience is before they start writing. So again, this always goes back to the brainstorming. We want to think why we are writing, the purpose, and who we are writing to. And so you can see here we want to consider 2. You want to keep 2 things in mind, and one is your viewpoint, right? And then whether or not you're going to be formal or informal writing. And sometimes these go together, especially in 2020. There's a big difference between what your purpose is. If you're just writing me about some homework, you're not staying on the formal track. But perhaps later on, when you are writing for some money, perhaps grant money for school, perhaps you're writing somebody to inquire about a job, you're going to have to stay more formal. All right. And so clarity is how easy it is for the reader to understand your writing. Being descriptive, and your pronouns, right? You want to have clear pronouns, no vague or indirect speech. And so your clarity is very, very important. Good, wonderful, incredible, delightful. Changing those up for the reader is quite good. You want your reader to be able to kind of enjoy what you're writing. And sometimes you want to be more accurate with your word usage. So clarity is number 3, which brings us number 4, unity. So unity in a paragraph means that all of the sentences are related to the topic sentence. Your unity means your supporting sentences are always going back to your topic sentence, right? And so whatever your topic sentence is, you want to have that unity going through. And so that's very, very important. And finally, coherence. Element 5. Piece of writing has coherence when all of the ideas are organized and flow smoothly and logically from one to the next. Logical order. Repetition of keywords and use of transitional words and phrases. Hence, we see a lot of keywords for concluding sentences. And then you've seen it time and time again in English class: next, then, after that. So your sequential, logical order. And I highlight the idea of repetition of key words. If it's in your title and in your purpose statement, please use it consistently. Right? That way it just keeps us on point and we don't forget what we are reading about.